Welcome to my full review of Plus.net, a long-standing web hosting provider that has been around since the early 2000s. In this video, I'll walk you through my entire experience using their platform, from signing up, navigating the dashboard, setting up a website, to testing their hosting performance in real-world scenarios. Starting with the sign-up process, I found it to be slightly outdated in terms of design. The interface feels more like early 2010s web forms, which might be a red flag for those expecting a modern user experience. However, the registration process itself was functional and fairly quick. The welcome email included basic setup instructions, though it lacked the kind of onboarding guidance you'd find with more modern hosting platforms. Once logged in, the control panel stood out immediately. Plus.net uses its own proprietary control panel rather than cPanel or Plesk. This could be a downside for users already familiar with standard hosting interfaces. I personally found the navigation unintuitive, and some features, like email setup and DNS management, took more time to locate and configure than necessary. Website performance was mixed. I installed WordPress and ran several speed tests using Geekmetrics and Page Speed Insights. Load times were on the slower side, especially for pages with images and plugins. On average, the site took around 2.9 seconds to load fully, which is a bit behind competitors in the same pricing tier. Server response time also fluctuated more than I'd like, suggesting inconsistent backend optimization. And just when it felt like everything was lagging, Altahost turned out to be the one solution that simply works. This and many other useful links you can find in the description. Customer support is available through phone and ticketing, with no live chat option. I submitted a support ticket asking for help with email setup, and it took around 14 hours to receive a response. The reply was polite but generic, and it didn't fully address the issue. In a follow-up, the response time improved, but the quality of support remained average at best. One strong point is pricing. Plus.net offers competitive rates on shared hosting plans, often undercutting bigger names. However, renewal prices do spike significantly after the first term, and additional features, like SSL certificates or backups, come at extra cost. This kind of upselling might be expected, but it's worth mentioning for anyone watching their budget. Uptime was acceptable over a 30-day test period, with minor downtimes occurring mostly in off-peak hours. Still, for business-critical sites, the lack of detailed uptime monitoring tools is a drawback. Another factor worth noting is their website builder tool, which appears very basic and dated. While it technically works, it doesn't hold up to modern standards and feels like an afterthought rather than a feature the company is investing in. So, would I recommend Plus.net in 2025? If you're running a small personal website or don't mind working with older interfaces and basic tools, it might be a fit. But if you're looking for a hosting platform that delivers high performance, intuitive dashboards, and rapid support, there are better alternatives out there today. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more honest tech reviews.